Okay, now we're going to try and catch the Ukrainians. The reason this occurred is that I was leaving the marina in too much of a rush. The Ukrainians pulled out and they headed south. I'm like, well, I should just follow behind them. And I'd already started my checklist, but I went through the checklist very quickly, and one of the things I didn't check was that I knew what I was doing. I thought it would be okay to come out straight across this way, when in fact the marina entrance is just the other side of that. I did the wrong thing. I didn't go out the correct exit, which is just there. I came out here. The sun was in my eyes and I couldn't see the rocks, and so I bumped and I stopped quite quickly, and I tried to back off, but it wouldn't back off. And then within 10 minutes, I realized the water level was going down. And at that point, I'm like, I'm screwed until the water level goes back up. Maybe that'll be in, maybe that'll be in the fall. Who knows? But I'm stuck here till whenever that happens. But in the meantime, I'll be watching Netflix like this. I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I'm an idiot. We're still quite a long way short of refloating the boat, but it's getting there. We're about 6 or 7 centimeters up from where we were, and the boat isn't listing quite as badly as it was. We had almost 10 degrees and we're down to about 5 now, so with a bit of luck the river level will increase and just enough to kind of make the boat floatable, and then I can back the fuck out of this place, because this has been a big mistake. This is the biggest mistake I've made since I've had the boat, which is saying something, because there's been lots of opportunities. Getting the anchor stuck was not my fault. It just happened. It was like I dropped the anchor and it got caught around something on the bottom, and there was nothing I could do about it. So that was more stressful, I think, than this, but it wasn't my fault, whereas this is 100% my fault. I wasn't paying attention, and I'm paying the price for it right now. I can get out of this, but I shouldn't have had to get out of it, because I shouldn't have got in it in the first place. And I used to do a bunch of like flying and gliding and stuff, and if you screw up when you're flying, the tradition is that you fess up about it. You just go, look, I screwed up. Here's what I did wrong. And people don't mock you for it. They just go, thank you for being transparent and honest. So I'm being transparent and honest. I was not paying enough attention as I left. I should have checked the route to get out of the marina safely. Yes, I was in a hurry, but I was in too much of a hurry. And I shouldn't have been. I should have just said to myself, don't worry about it, you can leave 5 minutes later. But that rush has cost me an entire day of movement, and the embarrassment of being stuck on a freaking rock wall. Ay. Oh no. Apparently the person walking along the shore is the mayor of the town. 15 minutes ago, that rock there was actually breaching the surface by about 3 centimeters, and now it's about 2 centimeters under the water. So the water level's going back up again very quickly. Maybe I'll be out of here sooner than I thought. Well, I'm back to where I was when I woke up this morning. And I'm sorry I didn't shoot the thing because it all happened very quickly. Basically, the level of the water shot up. It really went up a lot. I can't really demonstrate it, but it probably went up about 1 meter, which took me to a place where the boat was kind of rocking on its rock. And then I couldn't start one of the engines. It's a whole other story, but I got that started. So I got both my engines running. I've rocked them backwards and forwards a little bit, like the same as you do in a car when it's stuck. And then just pushed them full back, both engines. And it just slowly crept backwards and then boom, off. So, man, stupid day, completely caused by my carelessness. And I'd just like to add that everyone around was super helpful. I mean, they really tried to get me off, and they almost did. We almost got the boat off, but it just wouldn't move enough. And then there was a point at which we just all agreed that we had to just wait for the water level to come back up. But these guys in this boat, those guys in that boat, that guy in that boat, everyone just like mustered in and tried to help. Unfortunately today there's no wind, so going through the locks will be a lot easier. After being stuck on the rock, I got this engine started, pulled back off the rock, everything's cool, but when I got back to the dock here, tried to start it and it wouldn't go. Well, that is very strange because there is fuel coming out of that, so there's no fuel blockage. It just won't start. I need to modify my anchors a little bit. I have 2 of these anchors. They're called CQR, and they're very good, quite modern and work well. But this one's a little bit smaller than the one that was on the boat before. But I need to just cut this rusty old stuff off here and just swap a few things around, which I'm going to do now. Mission accomplished. So that's done. My smaller anchor connected. Much better. I have slowly been working my way to the Mediterranean for about 2 years now, and I'm about 3 days away, and I have an engine problem. For some reason, after getting stuck out there, which is a whole different story, my starboard engine won't start. It feels like it's gonna start. The port engine starts. Starboard engine just won't start. And I've bled everything. There's no water in the tanks. There's no air in the system. Diesel engines just start. And this one just won't. Jesus, I needed a clean shirt and a shave. So, slight change of plan. After 2 years of trying to get to the Mediterranean on my boat, not trying to get, but having that as a plan, I'm 3 days away. 3 days away, and my starboard engine won't start. Yesterday I made a boo-boo and I got caught out there on a rock, and since then there's been an issue starting the starboard engine. I've been dealing with it. I've been working with a friend of mine who knows the boat very well, but we can't figure out what's wrong. So I've been doing some other things around the boat and just hoping it'll fix itself. This engine problem hasn't gone away yet. We're going to swap over these 2 control boxes and see if that narrows down to where the problem is. What I suspect has happened is that water got in here and is causing a short, which is causing the engine to cut out. Basically, it's a cutout switch that's the problem, but it's cutting out before it's even getting started, if that makes sense. This boat was built 37 years ago, and I'm not sure many of these screws have been opened in 37 years. Oh, there should be no water in that. I think we found the problem. I am about 90% certain that that would be the problem. I found this wire not connected to anything, and I'm like, that should be connected to something. And then I connected it, I just pushed it back into that hole, and bingo, the engine made a clicking noise. So I'm like, there you go. But of course we need to actually fix it and see if it does solve the problem. Okay. I am fairly certain that that was the problem. I'm gonna stay around here. I've already paid him for a month, and I need a safe place to leave the boat whilst I'm at Glastonbury. So I'm just gonna stick with that plan and go to Glastonbury, come back here, got 2 engines on the boat, head to the Med. A French chap named Philippe just pulled in with a beast of a boat. It's a catamaran. It's got 2 500 horsepower motors in it, and yeah. I'm just going to wander next door and see if the gentleman will let me have a look at his engines. Voilà.
Turbo, intercooler.
These are big engines. We are celebrating my victory in fixing the motor. Fixing the motor. So this boat has an interesting control system. It's all done with the power. There's no wheel, no rudder. Just all done on power with 2 big engines. It's good.
Yes.
No, it's funny to see my boat from angles that I don't usually see it at. It looks a little bit dirty, but I'll clean it when I get to the Mediterranean. I also found out why my port engine was running a little bit warm. I dug out one of the pipes, and as you can see, it's just, that's a mess. So I'm going to dig all that stuff out and reinstall the pipe. Yeah. So, this is Jeff.
Hello.
And I was just in there editing a show, and there's like a little knock on the wall, and I'm like, what's going on? And he knows the boat.
Yeah, biggest fan.
Seriously?
Yeah, completely.
Oh, you'd be a Patreon supporter if you were the biggest fan.
Well, that's a very tight, big fan. Yeah. No, I've been watching your videos for a year probably, and then I went and did the back catalogue.
Oh, cool.
Went back to when you were in England.
It's funny, the guy you pulled in the other day on a different boat, he's like, he saw the name of the boat and he goes, I have been watching you. So you're the 5th person.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I don't feel quite so special now. That's terrible.
Yeah, but he's riding a freaking bike from the English Channel to the Mediterranean.
Well, I can't afford a boat, so you know it's.
So what's it called?
I call it a Franken bike, but it's a Ross mountain bike built in New York in the 80s, before anyone knew what they were doing. So it's kind of part road bike, part BMX. It's a very strange configuration, but actually works quite well for touring. But it's been a challenge for the last couple of days because it's been so windy.
Yeah, and well, the wind was coming from the north though, wasn't it?
Well, when I was planning it, I was looking at weather forecasts all the way down the trip, and I thought, I'm going to get tailwinds the whole way. It's fantastic. I'm going to have this really good ride. Everything comes from the north, the northeast and the northwest, or the north, and I'm just basically coming from north-south, so I'm going to be sitting on a tailwind the whole way. I've had headwinds the whole time. It's just like tomorrow is a tailwind, apparently.
Yeah.
I've got 2 more days to get to the Mediterranean, and technically I have tailwinds the whole way. So
Should I? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's riding a bike all the way, and he's doing it 12 times faster than I am. We are just chucking under the boat.
I think you're definitely an expert now, Steve, at going down, doing a bit of diving under your boat.
Yeah. Once more, expert?
Expert diving under the boat.
Right, expert. Expert. That's the word I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear expert over and over again. Aye. What's happened is that in trying to free the boat, as the boat came backwards, it snagged the tow rope. So that's got caught up in the propeller.
Oh my goodness. Is that the last of it? Okay.
It's a little bit more. That's the mess I just got off the propeller. When we tried to tow the boat off, the rope snapped, but it snapped in 2 places at the same time, which is just weird. And the rope just sunk to the bottom. And we were like, okay, well, we lost the rope. But when I pulled back a couple hours later, somehow the rope got tangled into the propeller. Because I've done a little bit of work on the boat and the engines and the propellers and stuff, I want to take it out for a quick test ride, and my friends Jonathan and Sheena are going to come with me. I met them in Paris and we've crossed paths a couple of times, so off we go. Tell me that again?
We're going to go that way?
Yeah.
Not that way.
Not that way.
No,
What?
that way.
Why would that be?
Something to do.
And all my friends have gone. Look, there's no one around. It's an empty marina. There's no one else in here, but I still feel like I should whisper. It is very, very windy right now, and it's going to get much windier tonight. So just to make sure that everything's going to be fine and I don't have to get out of my bed at 4 o'clock in the morning because the boat is drifting down the river, I'm going to put some extra lines on it just to keep it completely safe. Ten-second commercial break, and I'd like to ask people to share it. In fact, if people did share it, then I'd stop having to ask, but they don't. No one shares this damn stuff, so you just keep watching. Don't worry about the Patreon stuff, don't worry about sharing it. I'll get by. These boats are enormous. I think it's a Sunday morning and it's a lovely day here in Viviers. I will be leaving here in about a week, but not with the boat. I'm taking myself to Glastonbury. I've got to go do some photographs and shoot some stuff there for my old friend Steve Mallet, and I'll be there for a bit. Ooh, fishy. Just a little one, but fishy nonetheless. And so I'll be gone for a week and then back here, and then I'm going to take the boat about 3 days south, and that means I hit the Mediterranean. The water gets salty, so that's going to be a little bit of a trip. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be, I mean, that's a huge change because you're dealing with actual waves and real big boats and things. I mean, not that the boats aren't big here, but it's just different when you're on the canals and rivers compared to the sea. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure there will be some more things to learn, but I'm not intimidated. So I've really enjoyed my time here in Vivia. It's a beautiful little town. The town is about a 10-minute walk, and it's just a traditional old French village. There's no fast food anywhere. There's no betting shops or charity shops everywhere. It's really nice. There's a nice little town about 10 kilometers that way. So I'm going to ride my bike up there just because I want the exercise. I've got some errands to do, and it just gets me out of the boat. This might not have been the best way. I found a way through, but it just it means climbing through some razor wire. Well, that was fun. I feel like a little bit of a traitor because I just bought my very first This thing's kind of cool. This boat's beautiful. This is a trader. They were built in, I think, Taiwan, but they're really nice. Just a really sort of elegant design. Well, this is kind of amusing. I went to get my fresh baguette that I'd bought yesterday afternoon, and this is what it looked like. And on this day, 1 year ago, was the very day that I started going through the locks in Calais to come south. It's been quite a year. We are going to have a fairly slow start today. I'm not in any hurry. I want to go through the checklist very thoroughly to make sure that everything is exactly where it should be and that I'm in good shape. So that's what the plan is today. Right now it's 11. Probably get out of here by 1 or 2 o'clock, and then fairly easy cruise south. And just to be very clear, even though I've done this a ton of times now, there isn't a part of me that isn't absolutely terrified every time I take the boat out, because there's the potential to do something really stupid, and it's just this far away. It's been really great staying here in Vivia. Sort of interesting. You got these big boats coming in and out, lots of other boats coming in and out, and it's quite an active little marina. Very safe, very friendly, close to the town, so it's been good. But it's time to move. And although it's very easy to not move, because being here is just easy and safe. I've got power, I've got water, I've got the town, I've got helpful people in the marina. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to get down to the south of France, and I'm almost there. But it does take an extra bit of determination to go, all right, casting off here and moving on to the next place. It just does. It's like you get a sort of safe, familiar feeling to all these places you stop at, and within a couple of weeks you're like, okay, bye, and you move on. Anyway, we're moving on.